bring it down. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train, oh, this train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train, this train, this train, this train.
Okay, guys. Do you guys want to do it again? Yeah. Okay, everyone get back on the train. You got another ticket. Let's move this way for them. Ready, guys?
This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. 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 Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. Okay, now let's bring it down. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory.
Jesus made a place in heaven for me.
This train is bound for glory. This train, oh, this train is bound for glory.
This train. You gotta sing, guys. You gotta sing.
This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train, this train, this train, this train.
Guys, I think we did better than Thomas the Train. What? All right, guys, it's time to go, but we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Feel it in the Everybody clap your hands. Now stop. I feel it in the air right now. It's all around, I see it everywhere. It's the power. Yeah, God's power. It's the power to move any star. It's the power to heal your broken heart. It's the power. Yeah, God's power. So don't hold back, no, don't hold still. God.
We got some pretty fun stuff planned for you guys. So if you can give it up to Conductor Dean, he's going to talk to us about today's project, the Bed Brigade. Say hi, Conductor Dean.
It's super good to see you. I hope you're having a great time. We already had fun. We're ready to have more fun. So I run the Bed Brigade over in Grove City, and we partner with Peace United Methodist. And so you have been gathering bedding and Bibles and stuffed animals and bringing donations. And so far, we have 19 pillows. We have 15 Bibles to give away. We have 6 sets of sheets. We have 126 stuffed animals. And we've collected almost $500. That's amazing. Isn't that amazing? So I look and I think, I don't know how many stuffed animals you have. Like my attic, we used to have all of my children who are grown left their stuffed animals that they couldn't bear to part with. And they went off to college and they moved out and they got jobs and they got busy. And I said, what should I do with these stuffed animals? And then they were like, oh, you know, we'll come home and sort through them. And so they sorted through them. I want to keep these, I want to keep these. But these ones you can get rid of. And so we took them to Bed Brigade. And my children didn't miss them at all. But it made a huge difference to the children who got those stuffed animals when they got their beds. So thank you for what you brought in, and thank you for wanting to make a difference.
Well, thank you, Dean, so much for updating us and what has been collected from Bed Brigade. And it is a tremendous feeling to know that we here in this VBS are really helping to make a difference in a little child's life and an adult's life, to get them off the hard floor and into a comfortable bed at night. So thank you so much. Kids, today we're going to be learning about the power Jesus has to help us live forever. Trust Jesus. That's right. Trust Jesus. But before we begin the video, I want to tell you a little bit about it. We are going to meet a little boy named Isaac, and something very sad happened in Isaac's family. He had a brother named Joel, and Joel died from cancer. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is that cancer does not happen to very many children, and we don't want any of you sitting out there to be afraid or worry that maybe you would get cancer, okay? Are we good? Okay, super. So, let's take a minute and let's watch why Isaac is so
I'm Isaac
happy
and I'm 11 years
to know
old.
that he's going to meet his brother Joel in heaven.
At home, I like to, a lot of times I play video games. I have 2 brothers. One's older than me. He's into acting and singing. My younger brother, Elijah, he's 7. My sister's name is Zoe, but she, like a normal 4-year-old toddler, will make messes all the time, paint on the walls.
Isaac also dances.
I started dancing, I think like 2 years ago. My favorite kind of dance is contemporary or lyrical. It's sort of like ballet, but it's a little more free. I always felt like when I was dancing, I wasn't really stressed about anything or worried. Sort of forget about anything else that is bothering you.
Isaac had another brother named Joel.
Joel was 2 years younger than I am. He was always really happy and joyful. When he was 1, he was diagnosed with brain cancer.
Cancer is a disease that most kids do not have or get.
He had to do some crazy thing to get rid of it, and it was gone for a year. But then it came back and they said he only had a few months to live, but then he lived 5 more years.
Sadly, Isaac's little brother Joel died.
One of the things I remember a lot about him is he always had that like little giggle. He always loved knocking cup towers down. So he'd make one that was like maybe double the size of him, and he'd run into it and it would come down and he'd laugh so hard. A lot of times we'd take him to this farm. It was like a petting zoo in some places, and you could feed the animals. I have this one memory of Joel. He was feeding the goats, so we give him the bag to reach in and give to the goats, but then he just gives the bag to the goats, and the goat devours the whole thing. Joel always loved animals. One time he got to ride a pony and he was so happy. He loved it.
Isaac misses his brother Joel. Joel loved Jesus and believed in him too.
A lot of times I feel sort of like I miss him and pretty sad, but I'm glad that he's in heaven and he can do so many things that I can't even do right now. Dancing always like cheers me up because it makes me think about God and how he's with Joel and he is amazing.
Isaac knows that because of Jesus, he will be able to see his brother again in heaven.
I sort of look forward to hearing his giggle, and I look forward to running up to him and giving him a grand old hug.
In the Bible, the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 11 says, "The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you."
I feel like that verse makes me feel like sort of hopeful that we can share the power of God and the Holy Spirit with the whole world, and that one day we can all know Jesus and God and praise and worship together. Even if we die, we still get to live forever in heaven with God, and Jesus' power is letting you live forever.
Jesus' power lets us live forever.
I think you liked that movie, didn't you? Yeah. Did it make you feel a little sad? Yeah. Well, I think that's so normal to feel sad, especially when we watch a movie about a little boy who died. That is just really pretty normal. But you know, this is also a huge story of hope because Joel's parents know how much he loved Jesus, and that Joel right now is up in heaven living with Jesus. And also, because Joel is living with Jesus, that means he's not sick anymore. And his body, he's not having to deal with the awful effects of cancer medication. So isn't that a wonderful thought to know that Joel is living in heaven with Jesus and is no longer suffering? Yes, it is. Yes, tremendous message. Miss Val is going to help out today with the questions that I have for you. My first question is, raise your hand if you have anybody in your family who has died. Anybody? Yeah, it looks like just about most of us. Miss Val, would you ask the young lady right here beside her crew leader who died in her family? No? She doesn't. Who else? How about the young lady down here with the glasses?
My aunt died.
Who died?
My aunt.
Your aunt died. Okay. How about somebody else? Is somebody else? Okay, this young man, and we have a young lady down here and a young lady in the back row.
1 month ago, my grandma's brother died.
One of your grandma's brothers died. Okay. And you, honey? Which one? Yes.
My great-grandma died.
Your great-grandma died. Okay, Miss Val, I think we can ask 1 or 2 more children. Let's get a couple in the back row. They haven't had a turn yet.
My great-grandpa.
Your great-grandpa. And how about his crew leader? I saw him raise his hand. Who died, sir?
We lost our son.
Your son. Our hearts go out to you, and we are so sorry to hear that. Thank you for sharing. That takes a lot of that's a lot of bold braveness. Thank you. When we think about living forever, do all of you children understand what the word forever means? How long it is? Could somebody raise their hand and tell you what they think forever means so we all have a good understanding? Okay, I see this young man here. Can you tell us what forever means?
Never ending.
Never ending. You've nailed it. It goes on and on and on. There's never an end. Isn't that a beautiful thing to know that someday when we are living with Jesus, our life with him will never end? My next question is about heaven. What do you think about heaven? When you think of heaven, what are your thoughts? You want to raise your hand, and Miss Val, okay, this young lady here.
The best place that you will ever see, and it'll be really beautiful and nice.
Yes, absolutely. Would anybody else like to share their thoughts of heaven?
Whenever I think of heaven, I think of grace.
Wonderful. You kids, you really have a very, very deep understanding of what heaven is. And you know, in the Bible, Jesus promises each and every one of us that we have a room with him to live in heaven forever and ever. So while on earth our hearts may ache and may be very sad when somebody we love very much has died, when we get to heaven, our life will be eternal. Thank you, kids, and thank you, everyone who shared. It is so much appreciated. It is not easy to share hurt and pain at times. Thank you. Well, our Bible buddy today is Finn the Trout. Come on, Finn. Oh, look at him. Isn't he a handsome guy? Look at him. Well, let's watch Finn's movie, okay, and see what he has to tell us today.
Are you ready to splash into another fantastic day at VBS? I'm Finn, a rainbow trout. I'm happiest when I'm taking a dip in a clean, bubbly mountain stream. This is the life. This stream is where I began life. This exact spot where I hatched is pretty important to me, but we'll get to that later. I spend most of my day flipping my fins, swishing my scales, and exploring this awesome river looking for food. I love to eat. Me and my fishy friends spend about 80% of our day looking for food. I use my mouth to poke around and look for good stuff to eat. And sometimes I end up getting a mouthful of weeds and sticks. Not bad. Of course, it's not as good as the bugs or the crustaceans I usually like. I'll even jump out of the water for them. God gave me something super sharp to help me find food. My eyes. They show me what to eat and what to stay away from. After being born, I might travel to a new stream far away from my home. But when it's time to lay eggs, rainbow trout always return home. My cousins, steelhead trout, travel from a freshwater stream all the way to the ocean. Even if they've lived in the ocean for a couple of years, they swim against the stream to make it back home. That takes a lot of power. Wow. Home is important to me and my fish family. Jesus knew that a forever home was important too. That's why Jesus died, to pay for all the wrong things you've ever done or will ever do. Because those sins are paid for, you can have life forever in an awesome place called heaven. But Jesus' power doesn't just cover your sins. Jesus is so powerful that he beat death forever. But it gets even better. The Bible tells us the Spirit of God, who raised Jesus from the dead, lives in you. That means a friendship with Jesus gives you the same awesome power that let him beat death. Wow! So, if you're feeling worried or sad, or things seem out of control, remember that Jesus' power is bigger than anything, and it's right there for you. Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus.
Welcome to day 3 of VBS. Who's excited? Oh yes, so exciting. 1, 2, 3. Where's Bree?
Ugh. I'm in so much pain. I don't think I can dance today, Hannah. My tummy.
Your tummy?
I ate too many Cheez-Its.
I told you only 4 packages.
But they were so yummy.
Bree.
Hannah.
We can't dance without Bree, guys. I think, what will make you feel better? Is there
Maybe
anything we can do?
Like some encouragement, like, you know Tinkerbell, how like whenever she, needed help, they would just cheer for her.
So you need some cheer, some
yeah,
applause?
I think if they really convinced me that they wanted to be here, that I would get up and be so excited and feel better.
Guys, do you think we can cheer Bree back to revival? Okay, guys, on the count of 3, we're gonna cheer. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Wow. I feel better already.
Wow.
Guys, thank you for healing my tummy. I really appreciate it.
We're glad that your tummy is healed. Okay, everyone stand up, it's time to dance. Okay, this is now the 4th day of doing this song, so I hope you know what you're doing. Cool, guys? Get those trains ready.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us whole and we stand together. Your power
next song, does anyone know how many wheels are on a train? 7. Is it a little or is it a lot? A lot, right? So we're gonna make our own train. But do you see how many of us there are? We're gonna need a lot of wheels, okay? So for the next song, we're all gonna line up and we're gonna make a train. And we're gonna go around the sanctuary. So first I'm gonna teach you the song. How's it go? Right. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train. Yeah, so it's really just gonna do that over and over again. Bound for glory, this train. This train is bound for glory. This train. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. Okay, so when we pose for Jesus made a place in heaven for me, the train's gonna stop. And you have to do a new pose every time. Okay, and we're gonna have 2 conductors up here to help us if you forget the movements, okay? But you're really just gonna follow the leader. So. So you're gonna line up behind your crew leader.
Oh, she is the engineer. She's the engineer. She's driving the train.
Okay? And we're all gonna get in a line. We'll move up. Okay guys, you ready? You're just gonna do that over and over again. We need everyone's wheels.
This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. 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 Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. Okay, now let's bring it down. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. Oh, this train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. This train. This train. This train.
All right, guys. You actually have a 2-way ticket. So we're gonna do the song again. Yeah! All right, guys. Remember, all the wheels we can get. We need a lot of horsepower on this train.
This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. 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 Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. Okay, now let's bring it down. This train is bound for glory. This train This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. Oh, this train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. This train is bound for glory. Jesus made a place in heaven for me. This train is bound for glory. This train. This train. This train. This train.
Yeah, guys. I hope you enjoyed your train ride today. It's time for the next station. Have a good day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow. Oh, yes. Oh, Emily.